It's a very beautiful day here at the Phoenix International Raceway as the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series makes its way out west for race number 2 on the season and also the first race of February. It was a very wild and chaotic race at Daytona International Speedway last Friday, and I gotta tell you, for a very chaotic race, it was very calm at best. Everyone had a safe race. It was a caution-free event. And Addison Jerril, who started off, well, basically, who won the championship last year in 2021, ended up starting off her season right and winning at won at Daytona earlier last Friday, actually. Although she won at Daytona last Friday, here today at Phoenix, she's going to have her work cut out for her as our points leader coming into this race will be starting mid-pack. And we'll be starting alongside another driver who has won 2 races last year, Tyler Ferris, not getting his season started off right, 23rd in the point standings, by the way, coming in. So Ferris also himself will have some work cut out for him coming into this event. And speaking of our point standings, let's go ahead and take a look at the points coming into today's race. Addison Jerril, our winner from Daytona, comes in as the points leader. Second will be Jeffrey Holcomb. Third, Shauna Martin. Fourth is Bradley Ream with 32 points. Rookie Chase Panero is in the top 5 with 30 points in the bag. She is starting in the caboose in this race. Carter Joey Elijah Gordon tied for 6th, but Joey breaks the tie due to Microsoft Excel physics. So that would put Gordon in 7th position. Owen Miles, who led the most laps at Daytona, in 8th. Chris Reynolds, 9th with 27. And Sean Ard rounds out the top 10. And as you see on the front row, that is the number 23 of Val Moscow, whom also, as we're still on the topic of points, comes into this race 29th in the standings with 6 points in the bag, and alongside Elijah Gordon in the number 5 Reds Wicked Apple Chevrolet. There's a lot of unknowns coming into this race. Last year we only saw 1 crash, and the rest of the race went clean and green basically the rest of the way. And fuel mileage, I believe, did come into play late in the going. But today it's a little bit hotter, the track is more slick, and chances are we might see more cautions. You never know here at Phoenix. So without further ado, I think I've done enough talking. The drivers are strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up. But in order to get these 34 cars rolling out onto the racetrack, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines have been fired. Pace car is rolling off, and as the drivers roll out for their pace laps, here's your starting lineup for the TikTok 150. Field is just taking 1 to go, and we are ready to go. Green flag racing here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Pace car drops off. I did forget to mention at Daytona, but this is our 2nd ever race here on the Leonard Station. Glad y'all could be tuning in. You know, last year that we were here at Phoenix, we were getting ready for Daytona 500 weekend. That was back in 2020. The WLA NOS Energy Cup Series was here. And this year, it's the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. They make their way through turns 3 and 4 into the restart zone, and race number 2 is underway. already sliding through the corners and off of turn number 2. Starting to fan out a little bit there in the background. A little bit of 3 wide action, maybe 4 wide once they come down the dog-legged front straightaway. And it will be the number 23 of Moscow leading the first lap of action. Look at this in the background. Man, a lot of them went down on that apron. And they are 3 abreast, nearly 4. Stephen Colon drives down onto the apron. Also saw Stephen Wallace Jr. down there as well. And man, if I were rookie Chase Bonero, man, starting in the back may not have been the best idea. They are still 4 wide up here at the front. Look at how low they just went there. You couldn't see it from that perspective, but if you saw it from this camera view right here, you would definitely know how low these drivers are going. It's like limbo down there. Billy Kidd into the wall. Remember, Kidd last year was caught up in a wreck. That was very early in the going on lap number 1, or lap 2, sorry. But so far, these drivers are actually keeping it clean and green right now. Moscow still leads, Allison Rains 2nd, Noah Clifton 3rd, and then Bronson Minnick is 4th. Nelson Reeves completes the top 5. They're still 4 wide back there. I saw Bradley Ream and Jimmy Hogan in the middle of that situation. And it looks like they've settled it down a little bit. But they're going at it pretty aggressively here. So take a look at the rest of your top 10 as they come around to complete lap number 5 this time. David Byers 6th. Tyler Ferris has moved his way up. He is now into the 7th position. Scoring doesn't say that, but it will here in a little bit. Nathan Stapleton will be kicked back to 8th. Gordon is going to be scoring 9th, and Foster Henderson will round out the top 10. Not anymore. It's Nathan Stapleton who's going to complete the top 10 this time by, and they're getting strung out single file up here at the front of the field. Then there are still some pretty good battles going on right now. Stapleton is way up there on that top side. He's being hung out, man. Stapleton is being hung out to dry up there on that top side. And even though we're not at a super speedway, there's not a lot of grip up there on that high side. So he must have really gotten loose and had to get out of the gas. And I really wouldn't blame him. It's still very early in this race, and Nathan Stapleton can still come back from this. It's not that big of an issue. Look at this. We're back to 4 wide. Sean Ard getting a little bit gutsy down there in the bottom lane. Took it all the way down on the apron as they go back into turn 1. What's actually kind of surprising me right now is that these drivers are taking it easy. They've learned from last year, and they're taking it easy right now. So right now these drivers are kind of taking care of their stuff. They're still racing, but they're taking care of their stuff at the same time. They're learning the cars, and they're doing all that they can to prepare for this first pit stop coming up very soon. I can't quite remember exactly when the first stop is going to be. I know it's at 3X. So we'll see them come into pit road. Probably, I'd have to guesstimate around lap 15. I'm just guesstimating. Val Moscow thus far has been pretty dominant since the drop of the green flag. Our pole sitter is still holding off the charges of Allison Rain, who won at Chicago, and the caution flag is out. Caution comes out for the first time today and the first time this season. Wow, they just went right through the pace car. It looks like there was a crash on the back straightaway. It might have involved either Mitchell Collins or Bradley Ream. One of those two. So this is the farthest that we've ever gone in a green flag run here at Phoenix, at least early in the race. So the pace car goes through everybody to get back to the front of the field and pick up Val Moscow. And that's who Val Moscow is waiting for. And now the pace car goes by. So now that means he's gonna stay right behind the pace car. So Moscow, since the drop of the green flag, has kept the race lead. He has led every single lap thus far. Let's go back and take a look at what happened that caused our first caution of the day here in Phoenix. This is going through turns 1 and 2, and from the looks of things, See what happens here. Bradley Ream, I think, got a little bit loose. Oh, look at Pinero there in the 20. We're going to take an aerial view of this one. So, actually, looks like Collins and Steven Alexander got together, and I think Bradley Ream got loose coming off of turn 2 and came down just a little bit, right into the path of these two. But luckily, Ream was able to keep it straight. Well, Ream was able to not get any more damage off of this. It's probably the damage that he's got is very, very minimal and is not going to affect any speed off of the 13 machine. But tough break that he lost a few positions. But on the bright side, it's not enough to hinder the speed of his car or take him out. So he's still in this thing, but obviously he might have to come down pit road to get 4 new Hoosiers on that machine. You're riding along with Chase Pinero as we go to commercial break. First caution of the day. It involves Bradley Ream going around. But luckily, he's able to continue on. Stay here, right here, folks. We'll be right back. We're back here at the Phoenix International Raceway. The field has just taken 1 to go, and we're going to be restarting on lap number 14. Your top 10 goes as follows as they come back to the restart this time around. It is Val Mosco who is still the leader. Allison Rain second, Noah Clifton third, Bronson Minnick fourth, Nelson Reeves completes the top 5. Then it's David Byers sixth. Tyler Ferris, who started mid-pack in this race, has climbed all the way up to 7th. Elijah Gordon holds on to 8th, Chad Myers 9th, and Chris Reynolds having himself a good run here early in the going here in this race. He completes the top 10. Well, pace car drops off down on pit road, but remember these drivers still have to go pacing speed until they get to the restart zone. They work their way into turn 3. And head towards turn 4, coming into the Geico restart zone. And there it is. Green is in the air, and you see a lot of drivers jump up to the outside. And then they fall right back in line. But here comes Allison Rain in the 7 to the bottom. Rain taking a peek to the inside, trying to salvage the lead away from Val Mosco. Oh, no! Noah Clifton got into Val Mosco and turns right into Allison Rain. Oh, man! Wow! Big crash going into turn 3. Wow! Wow, 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 wow. Unbelievable. Joey Miles and also Ronald House on pit road. What in the world was that? Second caution of the day. And Noah Clifton leads him down pit road. What? I don't even know what Noah Clifton was thinking there. So Noah Clifton, he got into Val Mosco, who then got into Allison Rain and turned her right on the back straightaway. Right reared her on the back straightaway. Not a Val Mosco's fault, but it was just Noah Clifton. I don't know what happened there. We're going to have to take a look at a replay, but still nonetheless, pit stops are taking place. And as I mentioned, Noah Clifton brought them in brought them all down pit road. Miles and also Ronald House, they came down pit road earlier. I think that was when the caution was just coming out, so they could still get service. And Clifton wins the battle off pit road. Minnick comes out second. Byers third. Ferris fourth. Moscow fifth. Reynolds sixth. Reeve seventh. Gordon eighth. Ninth, Chad Myers. And Foster Henderson comes out of the pits 10th. And let's review that. Let's go back, take a look at what happened on that restart that triggered caution flag number 2. Once again, let's go from the blimp. Oh man, it looks like Moscow got loose. Clifton came up, got into the left rear quarter panel, and then that turned Moscow down into Allison Rain's right rear quarter panel. And then just spun her around right in front of the field. And now everybody's trying to take evasive action. I think Gordon got a piece? No, he just barely got by. And then you see Nathan Stapleton get involved. There's where Brandon Yodel gets into it. There's Billy Kidd going around. And then somebody else hits Nathan Stapleton. I think it's Stephen Colon. There's a lot of smoke here. He can't see. There he is, plows right into him, and then further up at the front, then Cologne gets more damage from Mitchell Collins. And then you see Yodel and Kidd have already crashed more in turn 3. Cologne slides more up into the incident that happened over in the third corner, but man, oh man, drama happening on lap number 15 here in Phoenix. Here's a look at speed. They come off of 2. Yeah, look at that right there. See, I don't even know how you can really describe that, but just that all happened so fast, so quickly. You could just barely keep up with that action, and that TV just does not do its justice. And this might knock Allison Rain out. This is definitely gonna knock Nathan Stapleton out. But yeah, there's gonna be a few more retirees here in this race. Let's take a ride with Allison Rain. She has no idea that she gets clipped in the right rear. Meanwhile, she's faced with the field, and then more hits. Left, right, bam. And there's Nathan Stapleton's number 28, beaten and battered. The roof of his car was crumbled. But Allison Rain's day, unfortunately, is going to come to a very early end. Man, that's just a tough break. She came off of such great momentum from last season, winning at Chicago. Comes into this season, I believe she actually did perform really well. But unfortunately, here today, she's going to be out of the race here in Phoenix. Riding along with the number 28, Nathan Stapleton. There's the smoke. And as soon as the smoke cleared, there was Allison Rain. And there's Cologne just pile driving Nathan Stapleton right there. That I was referring to the hit, by the way, but still, man, that I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry, I just don't. We're taking one final on board, this time with the number 5 of Elijah Gordon. He does miss all of this. He stays high, gets by it. There's where all the chaos ensues right behind him. Man, though, that's just tough. That's just honestly a very tough break for Allison Rain and all those other drivers. They had some really good cars, and especially Allison Rain. She was going to show for it here today, but unfortunately, just not going to be Allison Rain's day under the sun to get her first win of the year. But still early in the season. She's definitely got a lot of ways to go, as do all of these other drivers as well. But in the meantime, looks like Noah Clifton is going to be the race leader. So let's go ahead and get back with the field for the restart here in race number 2 of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. One lap and we'll be back to green flag racing, and our retirees are going to be as follows. Looks like the number 77 is done. Allison Rain is done. Mitchell Collins is done for the day. Nathan Stapleton and Brandon Yodel are also done as well. Billy Kidd and Sean Ard coming back out on the racetrack. Both of them are a lap down, so they will be lining up on the inside for this restart. And other drivers such as Jimmy Hogan, for example, he's still on the tail end of the lead lap with a minor buckle on the hood of his race car. So here they come down the back straightaway. Back into turns 3 and 4 this time, where they'll be restarting on lap number 19. So we will have 28 laps to go when they come across the stripe this time around. So let's see what happens here on this restart. Clifton gets a good jump, and as you would already know, man, oh man, that number 6 is well off the pace. They go back into turn number 1 at full speed. That 6 car, man, oh boy, oh boy, oh my, oh my, oh my. How in the world did they hold on to that? Whoa, man, that was close. They know they got to get around this 6 car and quick, or else things are not going to look good for everybody else. My goodness gracious. They successfully get by him, man, but they just barely, narrowly escape death there. David Byers in the 1 going to the inside of Bronson Minnick. This is the battle for second. Tyler Ferris has worked his way inside of the top 5 now. Remember, Ferris didn't start off the season exactly how he wanted, and so now he's going to do everything he can to get as many points as possible to move himself back inside of the top 5 in the point standings. He knows exactly what he's got to do. He takes the 3rd position away from Minnick as Byers goes to 2nd. Noah Clifton is beginning to check out. A 1/3 of a second as of right now. A 1/3 of a second that he's got on David Byers. Doesn't this just remind you of Knoxville last year? Noah Clifton had himself a really good dominant car, gets involved in a crash that really was none of his doing. It was just wrapping up, and then Clifton all of a sudden just had no brakes, piled right into it, and that's what took him out, and that's what allowed somebody like David Byers to pull away and never look back with the win. Got Sean Ard in this 88 car. Remember, Sean is a lap down, and Sean doesn't really have a lot of damage at all on his race car, so now he's contesting to do everything he can to get back on the lead lap and hope and pray that another caution comes out. Clifton still moving away. He's checking out even more. Man, wow, did you see that block that Nelson Reeves just had from David Byers? He just received a block from David Byers. Oh boy. Nelson Reeves trying to do everything he can to move up into the 2nd position. Remember, Reeves is another driver who hasn't done all that well last year. The numbers kind of prove it, but he has had some good runs. Reeves right now is definitely turning his season around, and I gotta say, this is some really good stuff here that we're seeing from Nelson Reeves. Sean Ard, remember, he's also on fresher tires. He was also coming off of the pit lanes just before the restart happened. Sean is on fresher tires, so he's going to do all he can to get by this number 44 of Noah Clifton. They're still getting pretty racy back here. Look at this. Shauna Martin, whom I accidentally called Shauna Robinson, is quietly moving her way inside of the top 10. Fowler drifted way high, made it 3 wide, and now Fowler drops back a few more positions. Elijah Gordon looking to pounce at that number 5. Man, things are getting pretty racy here as we reach 20 laps to go here in Phoenix. Taking a look here from Tyler Ferris's onboard, trying to wrestle the 4th position away from Nelson Reeves as they go back into turns 1 and 2. Just look at how barely sideways these cars are here. Man, got some pretty good action here at Phoenix, man. But it's getting pretty racy. We're getting down to it. And the action's going to pick up here. We're closing in on 17 to go this time. Clifton still holds on, now by a half a second, almost 2/3 of a second. Look at Sean Ard going high. Not the preferred way to go if you want to try to get back on the lead lap. So we're working lap number 30 here. Closing in on 17. Well, closing in on 15 to go here in just a little bit. Man, Byers, oh boy. That was close. Chad Myers almost hooked the one of Byers into the inside wall on the backstretch. Came really close, but still clean and green thus far. Only 2 yellows, and lap traffic may come into play here depending on whether pit stops are going to be a factor or not. They're probably going to be a factor, maybe within 10 to go. Man, Reeves got sideways off the corner. And Nelson Reeves right now trying to do everything he can to wrestle third away from David Byers. Sean Ard still trying to do everything he can to wrestle Noah Clifton to get back on the lead lap. He's down to the inside, and Clifton is going to let him go. But that's also going to allow Chad Myers to pull right up and get to the inside, maybe. Oh, man. Wow, man. Chad drove it up really hard and just got in there way too hard. And that sent him up the track. Now he's 1/3 of a second away from Noah Clifton and 1/3 of a second away from his first win. Remember, the only driver right now that is being scored inside of the top 5 already has a win on his resume, and that's David Byers. He won at Knoxville last year. Still has yet to get his first win of the year right here, right now. Caution is coming out. The caution is out, and I believe Bronson Minnick is the culprit of the caution. Well, was the cause of the caution, rather, but this is gonna help. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Shauna Martin stays out, while the vast majority of the field elects to pit. Shauna Martin stays out. Also, along with Shauna Martin, Joey Miles, Ronald House. Remember, those two came down pit road just before, I believe this is just before the first or second caution occurred. Yeah, this was before the second caution occurred. So that crash happened just as these two were on pit road, and now they may, I think this strategy may work out for them. Actually, let's follow them, see what happens. Looks like Nelson Reeves won the battle off of pit road here. So Kyler Anderson's going to be second, Chad Myers third, Noah Clifton fades back to fourth on that line. Then it's Miles, Byers, Moore, Bradley Ream, remember, who spun to cause the first caution on lap 10. He's back in the mix. Billy Kidd breaks off, goes to pit road. So it looks like the lead is going to be handed over to Shauna Martin in the 18. Oh, things are getting pretty good here at Phoenix. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Bronson Minnick. That brought out our third caution of the day here in Phoenix. Well, looks like Bronson Minnick and Bradley Ream were racing for position. And then eventually it just turned into Ream getting loose and having to chase it up the track, and gets into the left rear quarter panel of Bronson Minnick. Sends him around and into the inside wall for Bronson Minnick. Gets right side damage off of this, but man, things are getting pretty racy here And things are gonna get more intense here as we wind down to the closing stages of this race. This is from the rear end of Owen Miles. Look at this turn that happens on the back straightaway that has set up a turn of events here in this race. Third caution of the day, and it will be Shauna Martin who stays out on the track and is going to be the leader. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back for the restart. They're going to restart with 11 laps to go. Well, excuse me. They're going to restart with 10 laps to go. Here in the Phoenix International Raceway, Shauna Martin is the leader. Running second is Nelson Reeves. Third is Kyler Anderson. Fourth, Chad Myers. Fifth, Noah Clifton. Owen Miles, sixth. Running seventh is David Byers. Eighth, Quentin Moore. Ninth, Bradley Ream. Tyler Ferris rounds out the top 10. These two drivers, Joey Miles and Ronald House, they are on the tail end of the lead lap. Or, excuse me, they're the first two cars in line that are a lap down. So they are still, they're still up at the front of the field. And if they want to get back on the lead lap and finish this race on the lead lap, they better hope and pray that a caution comes now. Here they come. 10 laps to go. Let's decide it here in Phoenix. Shauna Martin gets a really good jump on that restart, but so did Nelson Reeves. This is amongst the lead lap cars. Just to refer. And Shauna Martin pulls out. She's very, very lucky right now that she's got two other lapped cars right behind her, because those two lapped cars are keeping her from Nelson Reeves, who's right behind her, really. Well, not behind, well, you know what I mean. Anyways, Reeves ducking low on Joey Miles, trying to get around him. But Shauna Martin right now is in command here in this race. They're getting really racy back there. Look at this. 3 and 4 wide back here. They were 4 wide as they came off the corner, but still. Shauna Martin still leads. 8 laps to go. Yes, 8 to go. 8 to go. My goodness gracious, things are getting really intense. The nerves are coming up. Shauna Martin is probably going to be well on her way to her first win. So could Nelson Reeves if he moves up there and starts making some noise. But he's starting to lose ground to Shauna Martin. Remember Shauna Martin last week? She finished 3rd at Daytona. She was amongst the 3 other females, well, 3 females really. She was one of 3 that finished inside of the top 5. And Shauna Martin could very well be on her way to her first win. 6 to go. She finished 3rd, as I mentioned, last week at Daytona. Addison Jerril won. And the 3rd female in that category, Chase Pinero, ended up finishing in the 5th position. And Pinero and also Jerril are faded back inside of the top 20. They are 17th and 19th at the moment. 5 to go. Reeves is starting to close in. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the battle here. This is for the 7th position. Miles trying to keep it, and Noah Clifton trying to take it away. Gordon moves up inside of the top 10. Quentin Moore is just faded back quite a bit. But they're still going on. They're still battling pretty hard here. 4 laps to go. Man, oh man. Shauna Martin is just hoping, praying that either a caution comes out to end. Oh no! Shauna goes to pit road! Shauna Martin goes to pit road! This is gonna hand the lead over to Nelson Reeves! Reeves goes high! And here comes Tyler Ferris! Oh my goodness! 3 to go! Nelson Reeves takes the lead, and Shauna Martin goes to pit road. She could not make it. Oh no! Oh my gosh, that's gotta be heartbreaking. Here they come to 2 to go. Ferris goes high. That opens the door for David Byers to go to the inside for second. Oh man. Oh man, unless if Joey Miles gives way. This is Nelson Reeves' race to lose. Here they come down the back straightaway. They'll be faced with the white flag when they come back around. Reeves leads it. Will he be leading? Coming back to the checkered flag. Let's find out. 1 to go. Wow. Are you kidding me? Back through 1 and 2. David Byers moves up into second. Getting by Joey Miles. But the deal has been sealed. Back into turns 3 and 4. Byers drives it in. It's not going to be enough. Nelson Reeves wins at Phoenix. Wow. Drama that happens with 4 to go. With Shauna Martin leading. Unfortunately not being able to make the fuel last and hold up. Oh man. She is unfortunately going to come home in the 27th position, a lap down. Oh my goodness. That is a tough break for Shauna Martin, who, as I mentioned, was well on her way to her first win if the fuel held up. But Nelson Reeves, on the other hand, nabs his first career RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series victory. Oh, man. In the most dramatic way possible. Are you kidding me? This is unreal, unheard of, unbelievable. So Nelson Reeves, as I mentioned, won the race. David Byers, so close but no cigar. He'll finish second. Noah Clifton finishes third. Tyler Ferris finishes in the 4th position. Then Val Moscow, our pole sitter, 5th. Kyler Anderson finishes 6th. 7th, Chad Myers. 8th, Addison Jerril. Remember, she was back when we last checked in on where she was currently being scored at that time. She was scored 17th. Finishes in the 8th position. 9th will be Easton Meyer, and Owen Miles rounds out the top 10. Take a look at the rest of your results from positions 11 through 34. Oh my gosh, man. That was dramatic. That was absolutely unbelievable of what we just saw. I honestly I didn't see that coming. If you remember last year, we only had 1 caution and the rest of the race went clean and green. And Steven Alexander went on to win the race, just barely holding off Nathan Stapleton, but we had 3 cautions in this race. Oh man, this was just unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. I honestly was pulling for Shauna. I've got to be honest. I know I'm supposed to be unbiased here, but I was pulling for Shauna to get her first win. But just the fuel didn't last. The fuel didn't last, and you know that obviously is gonna hurt for quite a while. But nonetheless, I mean, she still put up a heck of a run, heck of a show for Shauna Martin, and especially for Nelson Reeves. Played the strategy right, won the race off pit road on that 3rd and final caution. managed to hold on to second. I thought he was going to lose it to Tyler Ferris there, but man, Ferris slipped back a little bit, but still managed to finish inside of the top 5. Not too bad there for Tyler Ferris, and that will help him quite a bit in the point standings. That is for sure. That is going to do it here from the Phoenix International Raceway. Want to thank you guys a lot for tuning in. Thank you for watching this very dramatic race here at Phoenix. And hopefully you guys will be able to tune in next time out. We will be at the Stafford Motor Speedway for the running of the Whelen 100. And it's not going to be a day anymore. It's going to be under the lights. We're going to have ourselves a good old short track race under the good old short track night race under the lights. I've completely butchered that, but you know what I mean. We're going to be racing under the lights at Stafford Motor Speedway. So we're bound to see a little bit more action. We're probably bound to see more action than we've seen last year at Stafford. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be worth a watch. So hopefully you guys are able to tune in for that one, because it's going to be great. But here are your points after the second race of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series. One more time, congratulations to Nelson Reeves on winning his first RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series event. And that's going to do it from here at the Phoenix International Raceway. I'm Elijah Leonard signing off from the Leonard Station, and we'll see you guys at Stafford.